Yes! Of course, I knew you were going to be here.
Okay.
Thank God Alabama LSU did not call you back. Yes!
We Googled you and he was like, we have to look for her. I'm like, okay.
Okay, so she wanted to know what your face looked like so she could find you. In case, and then I look up and I'm like, my buddy's calling me. Dude, I got to go. I can't talk to you right now. Lucy's right here.
Hi, Dan and everyone. It's me, Lucy. And this weekend, we decided to send Chris to Germany and me to Oklahoma.
My name is Cole.
Oh, it's nice to meet you.
I have not missed an episode of the Le Batard Show since 2013.
How do you feel about this being the last Bedlam for a while, at least?
Since it's not Oklahoma State's fault, I feel okay about it. I'm sad because it is probably the most lopsided rivalry in history.
I think what's the face, the head coach of OU?
Brian Venables.
Yeah, I think he's a in it, that's what I'm saying.
It's sad, but it is 91-19, so there's not really a point of playing anymore if we're just going to keep on winning.
Who loses to KU and you're going to SEC? Who loses to KU?
Texas does that quite a bit, actually.
They're scared of us. Well, Bedlam in football is one sport. The rest of the sports we dominate in. So Bedlam series, we own OU.
I'm sorry, brother, but you don't own us. We own you. Three-time champion, World Series champion in softball, Oklahoma Sooners.
Who's the three-time equestrian champions?
It's actually all of our first Bedlam, but it's also our last because the last one.
That day.
Just gonna have to find a new one.
This year, the last one, I think we got a chance.
Yeah!
I think we got a chance.
So we all agree it's Oklahoma's fault this is ending.
It is Oklahoma's fault that this is ending.
I don't hate anybody, but I prefer to hate the Oklahoma Sooners. 100% go Poke.
First, I just bought this off the street about an hour ago, so it says right there, and then.
But if you're not wearing orange today, then you're losing.
Yeah. You're not wearing orange today.
But I have Oklahoma State on.
Yeah, but you're okay.
Okay, you can't argue with the pink shirt. You think it's cute?
I'm a little bit worried because I'm rooting pretty hard for Oklahoma State, and we've both been in an Oklahoma victory this year.
Can you say any nice thing about Oklahoma fans?
I can. I'm dating one.
How do you guys make it work?
We don't talk football very much.
Can you do a Mike Gundy impression?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Perfect.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
That few more
Kids! Do everything right? I'm a man! I'm 40! We're gonna go after anybody come at me!
So my favorite person on the show is Billy Gill on Tuesdays for Greg Cody. Greg Cody brings something up, Billy Gill's got his back. I love that. I love the fact that Billy Gill is chaos. Pure, unadulterated chaos.
Who is your favorite person on the show?
You.
Of course. Obviously, our number one fan right here.
So glad we didn't go to Alabama! Oh, it's coming down! The goalpost is coming down! Dan, I have one thing to say. One thing. I love college football!
Mike, my guy, I know you're paying a lot for the Miami Hurricanes to be decent. Get past it, man. It's over. It's past their day. You are now an Oklahoma State fan. Kind of, but in Florida. You're always going to be the little brother. Florida State's bigger than you. They're better than you, man. I feel sorry for you on that. I apologize. And also, hey, be nice to Tony, all right? Tony's got some good takes. Give Tony an opportunity on the show like you do. I love me some Tony. And Stugotz, man, hope you're racking up those airline miles. Send some my way. 80-20 my way. 80-20 my way.
I want to dedicate this video to Cole. The best interview we have ever had, ever.
Wow. That was
About
aggressively
30 seconds too fat.
Aggressively Bedlam. Lucy,
which 30?
Can you explain to me, please? Because I thought you were going to go to Alabama. Stugotz was on the case. Skipper was on the case. I thought you were supposed to not end up in the middle of Bedlam. I thought you were headed to Alabama. What happened?
Well, that was what was supposed to happen. One, let me just say, I'm so happy I was in Bedlam instead. That was top choice. So Stugotz texted AJ McCarron.
Yep, never got back to me.
That's rude.
Mm-hmm.
John Skipper called, I believe, the SEC commissioner. Wow. And I don't think he got back to him. But the plan was to go Greg Sankey to the Alabama athletic director, who apparently I think John knew his dad. None of that happened. And so we were like, okay, let's just book travel for Oklahoma. And then Bimmel messaged me like Thursday and was like, well, here's an LSU contact. And I was like, look, we just booked all our travel. We are just going to go to Oklahoma. And I am so happy we did. That was absolutely the game we should have been.
Well, what's next, though? Because it appears, whether it's Stugotz through his dealings with A.J. McCarron or Skipper with his dealings with whomever,
Gary Gensler,
you can now go to whatever game you want this particular week, right? But you're trying to choose. Now you've got a bevy of options.
Well, not exactly. The top choice would be Ole Miss, Georgia, and Georgia has said no every single time we've asked. So maybe we try Georgia again. Maybe we see if John Skipper can get someone to pick up this time. Our other options are Florida at LSU, Miami at Florida State, Utah at Washington, and then USC at Oregon. Really great options, and I don't know which one to pick.
Wow. You don't want to stick with Oklahoma State traveling to the great town of Orlando, Florida, to take on UCF in their space uniforms, Lucy? I mean, come on. UCF in space. We own space. No?
This was I was trying to pick my game, Jeremy. This was supposed to be a serious poll question.
I'm trying to be helpful.
Well, where do you want to go, and do you want to influence the audience? Because
what's going to make you cry?
I would like to go to Georgia. That would be top choice, but Georgia keeps saying no, so we are not banking on Georgia.
Yeah. So wait, Lucy, you're saying Greg Sankey won't call back John Skipper?
Maybe he has called back since John and I last spoke, but as of Thursday of last week, he had not called.
I feel my shares going down in value right now. Can we cut this?
I'm sending a text to David Pollock. Okay.
Yep,
I'm on it.
So Ole Miss, Georgia would be our top choice. But our other options, once again, if we can put it on the poll, please, Juju, where should I go this weekend if Georgia Ole Miss doesn't work out?
You're going to allow the crowd to send you someplace. Mike Ryan, do you want her at FSU, Miami? Do you want her around that?
I would. You got to earn it, right? Those are good football games, so you got to earn the off-roading. So I don't know. Like Ole Miss, Georgia seems like a hell of a game. Game day is going there. But, yes, I will roll out the red carpet in that podunk town of Tallahassee, and you can come hang out with us.
Jessica is advocating for something that I found a little bit shocking. We are in Stugotz, fairly unstable times. I believe I've gotten a number of panic phone calls recently saying Trump's going to win. Just that.
What do they want you to do about it?
Right. Why are people calling you
weird?
Right.
He's one of them Greg Sankey.
Right. Yeah.
AJ McCarron?
And he's on the stand today, and polling would indicate that everything in leadership is a total disaster. And I am not someone who has ever trusted the federal government with anything. I don't want the federal government near any of anything when it comes to me. Just handle a handful of things in terms of public order and leave me alone. But Jessica is saying,
okay, Mr. Tea Party,
that she wants federal government intervention
what
on the ACC.
Oh,
I just hate
Makes
ACC football so much. I'm so over playing against the ACC, watching ACC games every year. At the beginning of the year, I'm like, oh, like there might be a couple good teams in the ACC. There's not. It's always going to be, it was Clemson for like a decade. Now it's Florida State, and there's really no number two. I know Louisville's good this year. 3 minutes, by the way. And they only have one loss right now to a terrible Pitt team. But that's kind of my point. Is what are we doing, ACC football? I'm so tired of you. I'm tired of watching NC State. I'm tired of watching Virginia Tech. I'm just tired
Not
of all
Clemson.
of it.
You weren't tired of Clemson.
I think, honestly, like Clemson being good kind of out of nowhere, like nailing the Dabo Swinney hire, is the reason that the ACC got the TV deal and didn't completely, like, dissolve entirely, because if Clemson had just been like mediocre the last 10 years and not gotten to the playoff all those times and won 2 national championships, like who would the ACC team of that decade be? Like Florida State was in a weird no man's land.
Florida State won
Pitt
the national
had, like,
title
one good
in
year.
2013, right?
Yeah, and then like the Clemson that was 10 years ago. It's now 2023.
Yeah.
Shockingly, I feel
They've never had 2 good teams at one time.
Had hopes for North Carolina,
Right.
and then North Carolina went super south after being ranked.
I'm just tired of
number
it.
10.
I'm just tired of like so many 8-4 teams every year, 7-5 teams every year, and it's like, oh, it's like so and so is going to be good. No, they're not.
Yeah, what sucks is every time you think that someone else can be in that tier, they'll just lose to another team in conference, and it just all gets lumped into. It used to be the Coastal, and now the ACC is just one big Coastal.
Thank God, by the way.
But I actually do think if you look at the head-to-head splits between the conferences and independents, like the ACC has improved. They have improved against these other big conferences, but if they keep cannibalizing themselves, the reputation is going to be what it is right now. So I'm all for federal intervention.
Every other conference also sucks. I will say that.
The thing about the other conferences, though, is like at least the Big 12 is completely unhinged, or the Big 10 is known for being really, truly boring. The ACC is just finding themselves somewhere in the middle, and that's the part of it that's just infuriating.
Billy.
Hey.
You and Jeremy.
But it is still a blue blood when it comes to the hardwood.
It's a great basketball conference, great lacrosse conference, great soccer conference. It's got the ACC's got a lot going for
Barn
it.
burner against Duke and Clemson last night on the ACC network.
I'm
Went to
sick of
Pens. I'm
ACC.
gambling again.
I watched a Boston College Syracuse game on Friday night, and I was like, what? Like, we can't even like meme this. Like Northwestern Iowa at least
tonight.
is memeable. Yeah. Syracuse Boston College, like, go girl, give me nothing.
Yeah.
Stugotz, Mike Ryan had a terrible, terrible bad beat to start his Sunday yesterday.
Oh, really? I had the Texans.
Terrible. No, worse than that.
Okay.
Worse than a team with no kicker.
He found that out this morning also.
He didn't even know? He just bet it. You told him this morning, God bless football. You informed him?
Yeah.
Justin Watson, he had him 30-1 to score the first touchdown in the Germany game.
Oh.
You don't know what happened.
No idea, but I gave the appropriate sound. I mean.
Stugotz, our friend Ron McGill, the most popular guest in the show's history.
Yep.
I think even above Tim Kirchin, who we all miss, but I believe it's our longest standing guest, and people know he's about the right things. And as a private citizen this weekend, he took up a cause to protect basically the zoo area and some of its sanctuary spaces from just rampant greed and commerce. A water park has never worked in South Florida. They're gathering places for mildew and feces, and he's just protecting the right things. And Billy found out something about himself this weekend because Billy, for as much as he runs into Ron McGill on Tuesdays, Billy likes Ron McGill. I believe that Ron McGill is the nation's preeminent person to talk about the animals on television right now if you want an informed expert on something. And Billy went out there to support Ron McGill this weekend in his cause, a cause that seems like it's going to win historically.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy learned that he is a terrible protester.
Yeah, I'm not a good protester. Protesting's not for me, is what I learned. I thought, and I was going by myself, which was not the way to do protests. Like if you're there, I am at the protest. If you're watching on TV, and there was a great crowd, as you can see. So
there was a big crowd, but you got there too late, evidently.
Well,
there are 50,000 people in that photo. From
Billy, you can't get to a protest late.
No.
I mean, I can, but you can't.
No. Well, first of all, I had fatherly duties in the morning, and I was told this protest is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I said, okay, I have until 2 p.m. to get there. I got there like at 12:50. And I saw, this is when I really realized protesting wasn't for me. My plan is let me drive in and go to the parking lot, and then I'll go walk up to the stage. I'll say hi to Dan and Ron and Jess and Jeremy. Surely everyone will turn out for this, so I'll go and say hi to everybody. And then as I'm getting there, I see the protesters are on the street screaming at the cars going by, and I said, I don't know that this is for me. Like, I'm not one to scream at cars because, you know, you're screaming and you're waving signs and all that stuff, but like cars are driving by like 45, 50 miles an hour. I can't really read the signs. Windows are up. You can't really hear what's going on. You just see a bunch of crazy people screaming on the side of the road and said, I don't know if this is for me. But
You're a real Monday morning protester.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're just getting here to there were hundreds of people
well,
there.
X told me that all protesters are paid, so I was hoping to get a payday too. So,
An appearance fee?
Yeah, no.
I would have been there.
Yeah. So anyway, I figure I'm not going to go and I'm not going to park in the parking lot once I see the protester on the street, because that is a long walk from the street to like the parking lot of Zoo Miami is like 2 miles almost. So I went and I parked at the Walmart, which I guess Ron wouldn't have liked being there, but it was great for parking, to park there and then just walk to the protest. So that was beneficial. So I went and I walked over there, and as I'm walking, I'm like, I'm by myself. I really hope I see these people, because I didn't see Ron when I was driving by. Hopefully I see people, because if not, this is, a little bit strange. I'm just by myself. I got there too late to get the T-shirt. I'm just wearing a gray T-shirt. Everyone else is in these blue T-shirts holding signs, all this stuff.
Did you miss the whole thing? Like, how many people were there? There was a grill and stuff. There were hundreds of people there.
Well, if you go back to the photo, you can see I found the DJ and the stage was still there, and then there's someone grilling something back there. But this is when people were like, this is like at 12:50, which is why I was kind of surprised, because it was supposed to be until 2, and I was like, where are all these people
that I was
out
is what you're saying.
If we're here to fight, if we're here to fight the man, and we're not, take the water slides away from the zebras or whatever it is that we're trying to do here, like, let's be here until 2 o'clock. Let's go through 2 o'clock. If we don't want these animals to have water slides, we need to fight until 2 p.m. so that they don't get their water slides. Which, by the way, animals in the zoo, we've taken enough away from them, right? If they want to go on water slides, let them have the water slides. What are we doing? So I go over there and I go to the street where everybody's protesting, and it seems to just be high school clubs that I think were left at this point in time, which was very confusing to me. When I was there, they started chanting "honk for the bats," but then half of the people didn't understand that, and apparently this was a protest about bats. I didn't know until I got there what we were protesting. It's for bats, which I didn't know I was someone that cared about bats, but I learned that I was. So half the people were chanting "honk for the bats," and then the other people didn't understand, and they were chanting "vote for the bats." So it was really confusing, because I didn't know if there was an election involved with the bats.
You didn't have a sign of any kind?
I thought we were going to do that, but I missed the sign-making portion. So then I said, you know what? I don't know anybody here. I'm by myself. I don't have it in me to be screaming at cars while they're driving by. Surely I'll just go to the parking lot where I'll see, Ron and everyone will be there. I'll go. So I go back to my car. I go to the parking lot, and that's where I took said photo. And that's when I thought to myself, I mean, this is the effort. There should be a water park here in a couple months.
My confusion with the photo is, if we're trying to save the animals, why are they grilling animals?
Well, not just that. I was also thinking, imagine my carbon footprint driving all the way over here. I probably killed at least 3 or 4 bats with all of my carbon emissions, right?
There are some conflicting moral judgments.
And then when I left, Dan, I drove by the protesters, and they were chanting about global warming. And I was like, guys, we've gotten way off script here. We're supposed to be voting for the bats.
Yeah. Seems unorganized.
Or honking for the bats.
Or honking for the bats.
Joey bats.
Anti-water slides, which, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I love a water slide. But I didn't want to say it. I couldn't say that there. I thought about going to Walmart and having a counter protest right across the street pro water park, because I thought it'd be funny, but it'd be just for me.
Well, why didn't you do that?
Well, because there's no camera or anything, and I feel like it's just for me.
No, see, if that's what
if Ron was there, it would have been. If Ron was there, it would have been funny. Where was Ron? Where was Ron?
Ron was at a nearby Chili's.
You probably could have got Ryan Fitzpatrick to join you. The water park. No?
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Jeremy, go sit in the penalty box.
A little late, yeah.
It's my mistake for getting rhythm early.
At Le Batard Show.
It seemed like a good time had by some of the people that were there, but they got off script a bit towards the end, I'd say.
You will take
2 minutes for a forced joke.
You'll take this up tomorrow with Ron McGill, because it seems like you have a lot of criticism of him actually executing successfully some activism.
Stay till 2. You weren't there, buddy.
Well, I was, but I also
No, I'm saying
left.
Ron wasn't there at 2.
Right.
Yeah, where was he?
He left at about 1, because after 3 hours of shouting at cars and honking about the bats, 3 hours about covered it. 3 hours of protest.
This fight goes up until whenever this thing ends.
Billy, you were late. You were late, and it was baby's first protest, and you needed someone to hold your hand and make a sign with you and tell you how to yell and what to say, and you missed all of that. So you were late.
But
I went by myself.
No, but Ron needs to realize that, for every protest, there are going to be some stragglers. Some people have,
That's right.
they have.
Do you want my support or do you not want my
Exactly.
support? You tell me 10 to 2, I get there before 2, you're not there. I mean, how are we supposed to convince these commissioners if we're not even there all the way through?
So you
Wait till the end, Billy.
Exactly right. Till the final whistle, Dan. It's a 4-quarter protest.
And you have a lot of things going on in your life. You're a father, a father of 2. You took time out of your busy schedule between God Bless Football and all your other responsibilities around here, to go out and protest something. And so you too may have missed, like Stugotz, because you have family priorities, some of the things that happened this weekend that were worth covering. So I'm just going to catch you up here on some of the things here,
Awesome.
Stugotz, that you need to know since you're behind. Jim Irsay this weekend, the Colts are one of those teams right in the middle. There are about 20 of them. They're all 3-5 to 5-3.
Yep.
And, if Andrew Luck hadn't retired on them, they'd be winning 11 games every year. Instead, it's Jim Irsay dancing because they've taken out the now 0-7 Carolina Panthers.
One and 7. That's a fun.
Oh, did they? They won a game?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't feel like
Eked one out.
I mean, it feels like they shouldn't have won a game. Regardless, it feels like they should be winless. Jim Irsay, I do word association with Jim Irsay. All I think of is they found a bunch of stuff in his car, pills and cash. And
I was going to go guitars.
How about Lolita? How about trying to save Lolita? That's something.
That was something that I found out recently.
I go red face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go holding his head coach's finger right before really getting down.
Right.
I have a question for all you sports experts. This one should be real easy for Dan and Stu.
No, don't do this to me.
What?
Don't do this to me.
Don't do it to me.
Don't do it to me.
What?
Do not do it to
Surely
me.
you guys know the head.
Don't do it.
Go
Don't
ahead. I don't care.
do not ask me to tell you who the head coach of the Colts is.
There's only 32 of these jobs. Come on.
I've stopped caring.
You don't know that? Here we go.
Why
Come
would
on.
you
I'm
do
asking
this?
you
Let's
guys.
give him a hint.
I'm looking at you guys.
give him a
Eagles
hint.
guy.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. There's your
guy.
hint.
That was the
Yeah,
hint.
Eagles guy.
I'll give you the first initial of the first and last name.
I don't
Go
want to
ahead.
do this.
SS.
Shane Steichen.
I don't.
Close enough.
Careful.
Close.
Is it?
What's on his Google?
Stu.
Dan, look. Dan.
It's good TV. Or podcast.
Did he get it
It's
right?
just the NFL standings is all it is.
yeah.
That's
Shane
it.
Steichen.
There's no way he pulled that out
He
of
got
his
it.
butt.
I
He
said
did.
Steichen.
I mean, you got it wrong, but you were close
I
enough.
requested him for God Bless
I was going to say, he's
there
probably
you
requested him 10 times already.
Another thing that I want to
Really?
show.
You're going to have to bump Dave Doran then.
Another thing I want to
not doing
show
it.
Stugotz from this
over.
weekend is I'm being told that an assault was committed by a tuba player, but not using the tuba. So let's check in here, Stugotz, with a tuba assault.
All right. Very clearly a tuba assault. I mean, he didn't assault with the tuba.
Right.
But he assaulted with a right hand.
That's embarrassing, though.
Well, and went right back to playing, did he? I mean, it was just,
Yes.
it was 2 or 3, bang, bang, bang. The third one catches, just surgical strikes, punched.
Why is there an airline pilot walking around
Yeah,
there
it's
behind
weird.
him?
Was he playing while he punched him? I think he was.
He was.
Multitasking.
He was.
I need more of a backstory here. How could one have a problem with a tuba player? Yeah. Because there were other tuba players there, but he seemed to have an issue with this one, and the issue was resolved promptly by the tuba player.
I do need to recap some of what happened here for those who might not be able to see this. Okay, the tuba player is large and wearing a burgundy outfit and playing the hell out of the tuba.
Is this Texas Southern? I think this is Texas Southern.
And he is in a position above the stair climber. The stair climber emerges bearded and ferocious and filled with rage. And then it's with left hand still on tuba, but right hand breaking out. 1, 2, 3 strikes to the chin. The third one knocking him over, and the fourth one would have connected, but the guy was already going down. Beard was going down. 2, 3. 3 surgical strikes, and the fourth one would have connected. That tuba player, an assassin.
Yes. Yep.
Very well done. But you can't do it in that outfit with that instrument and look cool while doing it.
Looks like the guy in the band was too buff. Huh?
Why are you back?
Back to the box.
The football from yesterday, Lamar Jackson was not going to be their quarterback. And then 7-2, and he dragged Seattle and Detroit. And we're all like, yeah, they're good. We know they're good. And we'll see in the playoffs if they can be that good. We'll see if he can last, if his body can last for the second half of the season.
If the season ended today, all 4 AFC North teams would be in the playoffs right now.
That's crazy.
Is it?
Steelers, how?
Is it? Is it?
We don't need to talk about that.
It's everybody. 2/3 of the league is between 3 and 5 and 5 and 3. Like, Hansen was weeping at 4 and 4 teams yesterday.